Two youngest people that you ever did see. Younger than springtime, or a newborn baby. And the show is gonna surely make you shout. Yes, ma'am. We're talking about 5 questions with James and Jam.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-huh.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Well, hello.
And I noticed that I had pinpointed myself. I didn't do that on purpose.
Wow. That's okay. I was having a conversation over my shoulder.
Oh, with a certain person?
Mm-hmm.
With a Patti LuPone?
It's my perchance. We'll talk about her in a minute.
In a minute. Yes, good evening, everyone. Welcome to 5 Questions with James and Jam. I am John Andrew Morrison, Jam, and this fabulous, wonderful, scintillating fellow over here
is James Jackson Jr.
And he's looking marvelous and glorious as ever.
Thank you, as are you. Who's here?
Well, who's here? Talk to us.
I'm always in the wrong chat. I can't find things. If you're in the chat, say hello. Let us know you're here.
Yes,
raise a hand.
Please. Tell us what the weather is like where you are.
Tom Lorio. I'm in the other room.
Caroline, I tell you, oh my God, we have royalty from Kingston, Jamaica here today. Jody Hola. From the beginning, what is happening? Like usually she comes in like 5 minutes to the end, and it's like, hi. but I appreciate you, my friend. And Caroline Aquino, yes, we're going to talk about these patty pillows in a minute. And Tom Lorio, at some point in time, you just need to just be up in the space and do the thing.
Next season, we'll see if he'll do like how they like used to cut to Ed McMahon.
Yes.
Or like cut to, whoever.
We'll cut to Tom Lorio.
Yeah. And be like, so what you doing?
And Jody is giving us full Jamaican patois ratchetry. Midaya! It's well hot and Medea. Mm-hmm. That's what we sound like in Kingston, Jamaica.
I love it. I'm ready for my guest appearance.
Oh boy!
How are you doing?
How am I? I'm doing great.
Yeah.
I've been doing these interviews for the Lortel Foundation for Pride Month, and they've been so delightful.
It sounds really cool.
And you're doing one tomorrow. I have to send you the questions, but there are these little mini interviews about like coming out and what does pride mean, and so it's been really, really, really delightful. I got to interview Adam Greenfield today, artistic director at Playwrights Horizons, and a playwright, C.A. Johnson, and Raja Feather Kelly I'm interviewing tomorrow.
Ooh.
So I might even see if we can sneak one in of our fabulous guest today, the wonderful, the scintillating, the glorious, the real, true triple threat.
Yes, this is true.
Andre Ward, who is backstage howling. He's already laughing.
Andre Ward is Broadway royalty.
Let's talk about it. He was in The Producers.
Rock of Ages.
Yes, Xanadu,
which I might still be laughing at.
He walked away.
I guffawed.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I think, my first public guffaw.
Yes. Escape from Margaritaville.
Like you've had a margarita. Escape from Margaritaville. I have watched him on Pose.
Yes, I've watched him in the 40-year-old version.
Yes. Which I want to talk about because I have not finished seeing it. Is that me? I feel like I've got a neighbor. Biggest news. So I have a car driving past. During the day, there's always construction going on. We're moving. And we're moving to such a quiet part of Jersey City that will never happen again.
Hey, it makes it interesting. You know what I mean?
Gives it flavor.
How are you, by the way? Are you good? Well, you're moving.
I'm good. Well, that was a huge weight lifted. Our building management, we all talked about the telltale heart of baby birds in the wall a few weeks ago, and we just had it. So we put some we put the pedal to the metal. We did some research, and we found a great place. We found a townhouse that's like a duplex, and like I can park the car underneath, and it's so quiet. It's also
fantastic.
one
Give
block
us
from the train.
address so we can come visit you.
2 Main Street. Anytown, USA.
Perfection.
But we got something in the mail this week, both you and I.
Oh my gosh. But I don't know if she is here today because I don't see her on the thing.
She may pop up, I'm sure. We received, both of us, our Patty LaPillo. So we always talk about Christine Shep Strong, who is Madam Secretary. And these came in the mail for both of us. It's a Patty LaPillo.
Patty LaPillo.
With Miss Lapone.
And on the back it says...
On the back.
Can you see
Patty LaPone is fighting somebody right now. Now, because there's always a quote from every episode, and we can never really remember them. And Christine Shep Strong has remembered all of them.
Every single one of them. And
this has been... this was my second guffaw in life. This was utterly hysterical, and I think it's just the best gift anyone has ever given me. I now will be keeping it right here behind my Obie.
Behind the Obie Award. Oh, did you notice that there's art on my wall?
Is it because the art that's right by your Lucille Lortel Award?
Oh, yes. Did you notice the Lucille Lortel on the shelf hanging? And then the Obie's below on the shelf. Yeah.
And then on my other shoulder.
Oh,
we're doing show and tell. My high school chorus teacher made a doll of me in a
swacket.
A white swacket in like a black tank top. This could be gray baggy pants that would also be skin tight now because I'm fat. And a nice black pump. Like it's amazing. I absolutely love this. And it's like this crocheted thing that I've been in love with.
You have been seen.
I've been dolled.
You're seen, my love. Okay, so
it's time for our first segment.
Our first segment called 3 Minutes.
3 minutes.
And in the pre-show, Andre Ward set us straight as to what we should really be calling this 3 minutes.
Because it's never really 3 minutes long. And I always say it's like 3 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems as though we're operating at, and this is Andre's quote, we're operating at CPM.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3 CPM. It's 3
CPM, colored people minutes. So we take in the time that we are taking.
We are, because this is a very special topic, or it's a recent topic. It's a current topic.
Yes, I mean, I'm just fascinated by him. So we want to spend 3 minutes talking about this little
Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas X with his little chocolate sexy self, just giving abundant faggotry out on the TV.
He, aside from selling millions of albums, like, is really just kind of out. He just hosted Saturday Night Live, which I know caused a stir and a stink for a lot of people because of his "Call Me by Your Name" video.
The video. But
which, if you haven't seen YouTube, we'll drop it in the we'll post it at some point too.
But it's fascinating. He's like, you all want me to go to hell because I'm gay, so I'm going to go there on a stripper pole.
It seems really interesting.
A lap dance and then kill his ass. I mean, like, this is the imagery he's playing with in his video.
It's quite interesting and he's able to really dissect it in such a way that I'm not sure of a lot of his history, but I know there was some time spent in the church, and there it was this sort of damning that, of course, we all know goes on towards homosexuality and anything that doesn't fit the stories told in that Bible book. And you are often told you are going
in that Bible book
that some people read it, that you're going to burn in hell. You're going to die. You're dancing with the devil. You're doing all these things. So if that is what you are going to preach to anyone, a small child dealing with that, a teenager grappling with that, anybody going through that is probably going to have some shame issues that come up. And we know that that is the truth. So for him to actually play around in that
and
with the same audience, the same audience that fell in love with him because he sang a country song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so your little country music loving children loved that. But then as soon as he did this, which you said was going to happen, you said he was going to dance with the devil.
So he danced with the devil.
So he did.
And he's just unapologetically Black and queer, and I am here for all of it. So, yes. L. Morgan Lee, did you notice the award placement is perfect, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't notice my award placement, L. Morgan Lee? How rude.
No, I was very pleased with the Saturday Night Live performance. Because I don't know, if I were like a 6th grader, 7th grade, junior high, middle school kid, and I used to love staying up to watch Saturday Night Live, I would have seen this person in all of his like royal Black faggotry, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
Being his entire comfortable gay self, dancing with other entirely comfortable brown,
just
gay
dark
people.
Chocolate brown men.
Yeah.
Just being like, we're sexual beings and we're fabulous and we're queer.
I thought it was just, and it wasn't about being overt or kinky or it wasn't some dirty thing.
It was just like it was overt or kinky. I appreciate that even more.
Like a Britney Spears could get on the stage, or there's something called a Dua Lipa. That person can get on stage and wear something with like a titty hanging out and that's just okay because sex and that industry is run by usually just men. So the idea of men being sexual or intimate together and on film and on primetime TV, that's that's a thing. That's a thing. And I think it's really cool that little kids who don't ever get to see themselves. Yeah. And he's really playing in that.
Vinny, I agree. So rude because I kind of like Dua Lipa too. Her disco album is off the chain.
I heard a song.
Oh no, honey! It's a summer banger. You need to get into her.
The kids do like her.
The kids, okay.
They do.
I am not the kid.
No, and there is a song of hers that I like. I have no idea what the name of it is.
But wait, have we spiritually wrapped up 3 CPM?
Well, how do you feel about? You've watched the video. You saw the performances on Saturday Night Live?
Yeah, I loved it. I mean, I'm just so here for the fact that he is unapologetic and how he addressed people being upset was I can't remember the comment exactly, but he said something to the effect of like, my upset when you told me I was going to hell and all of the things that were going on, all this retribution and the fear and the upset that dealt you gave to me, eat it, basically was what he said. He basically was like, deal with it. I don't care that you're upset and I'm not going to try.
You actually told me I was going to burn in hell.
And he was like, I'm not going to make it comfortable for you. And that's the thing that I appreciate about it, is that he's like, no, deal with me.
I think that's really cool. When someone does that or speaks to things like that, I think people respond in a really cool way. The right people respond. Yeah. It's nice to see yourself on a screen, a stage, or wherever and be like, oh, brown, queer, different, allowed to do the thing. Okay, great. That's so helpful. That's so helpful.
I think it's brilliant.
Had that been playing on an episode of Dawson's Creek, maybe I'd be a nicer person. I don't want to wait.
Would you though?
Probably not.
I mean, come on.
I'm so excited to have Andre Ward on the show.
He's delicious. He's nutritious. He's a tasty treat that can't be beat. He's a triple
When
threat.
was the first time you saw him?
Oh my God. I mean, for sure, one of the things that I remember was him walking across the stage as that like centaur going, bitch, I don't know your life.
Which I don't know
Like
you like.
that to this day, just in my soul. But I mean, I'm sure I saw him in The Producers. He'd been in it all.
Yeah. Yeah. There's things I want to know, things I want to talk about.
Well,
He
let's
was
bring
in
him on.
Rock of Ages for 6 years.
Yes, I think he was
from
in The
start to
Producers
finish.
for a bunch of years too.
Yeah.
If
So I
I'm not
want to know
mistaken.
about like, I have a hard time like being in the same room for 45 minutes. So,
Yes.
like,
yeah,
I want to know how you do that.
this is true. Well,
But yeah, this is exciting.
Shall we?
Yes.
Shall we?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful, the scintillating, the glorious Mr. Andre Ward. Andre Ward,
Yes.
you delicious, nutritious piece of wonder. How are you?
Oh, I'm so good. I'm so good. It's hilarious. First of all, that theme song is everything.
It's so good,
so
right?
good. It's so good. It's so good.
I think for season 2 we might add a verse 2. Maybe.
We
Or
might.
maybe there should be like an outro version. Like you have like was it Good Times or the Jeffersons that had a different outro?
Oh,
they
I can't
both
remember.
did. Because the Jeffersons had like, well, moving on up, but then the outro was Walona humming. It was Walona from Good Times humming.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Good Times was like just looking out at the window.
Yes. What is the next line of the song? Because there's been heated debate over that. Just looking out of the window.
Watching the asphalt grow.
Correct. Watching the asphalt.
Hand me down. Good time.
Watching the asphalt grow was the hardest thing for me to get. I thought it was watching the S car go. I thought the S car was a train.
Yep.
And that you were sitting in the window watching the S car go down. And I was like, you couldn't tell me I was wrong. Right.
So Al Morgan was talking about Lil Nas X being fine. And then your chocolate delicious ass came on and she wrote, speaking of fine. 5 Questions with James and Jams is also a dating service. So making love connection.
Make you blush.
I feel like El Morgan might. I'm really grateful for that because I saw El Morgan. I think it was right either after or between your shows, and during Strange Loop, and I accosted her. I was so excited, and I was just like, I just have to tell you how amazing you are, and I just have to tell you that it's meant so much to me, and I just felt like, okay,
okay,
thank you so much. It means so much. It means so much.
You know what? I did that once to Mandy Gonzalez as she was walking to Hamilton, and I was like, I love you so much, and she was like.
Security,
like, poor child was like probably coming from the eye doctor or something. Like, she's like, "What is happening right now?" This man at 1 o'clock in the afternoon is like, "I'm just."
I do that all the time. I have so many like crushes and talent crushes that I don't know what to do, and so when I meet the person, I was like that with Satisfied Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Oh yeah.
See, I shut down.
I'm a soap person. I'm a soap opera person. I've
So
watched
Me
soap
too.
since I was
Huge.
So she was Evangeline on One Life to Live. I watched her.
She
She was nominated twice for a Daytime Emmy for Best Supporting Actress, and she came, like I can't even do it now. She came to see Xanadu, and this is before Hamilton, and I was already not well. And she came. She knows one of my besties, Todd, and her friend Kenna came, and I was not I don't. I think she probably thought I was, like.
Do you like lose your words? You get
I'm not good.
flustered?
She's like, "Hi, I'm Renee," and I only want to say, "Hi, Evangeline. I mean, you mean so much to me. You're an amazing assistant PA." And I was like, "Hi," like, great to see you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, see, I shut down. I shut down
Yeah.
and like go in a corner, and I have to wait for. I don't even know what I'm waiting for.
Yeah. If
I
don't even know what I'm
find the
gonna do.
words, but like it has to be. I need them to start.
Yeah.
I want to know your thoughts on Lil Nas X, by the way, and his.
Yes, I did not. I was out with a friend of mine, and he said, "Did you see Lil Nas X on Saturday Night Live?" I was like, "No, I didn't see it." So he sent me the clips, and I watched, and I was just like, "This is unbelievably amazing," because
This is happening.
This is happening, and it's being celebrated,
Yeah,
and then I'm getting to see this man in the middle being flanked by all these gorgeous men and doing the kind of dancing that Black hip hop artists have been doing with women flanking him for years.
Right.
And we can do that. And it's like I wanted to do that, and
Right.
to be able to know that that's possible.
I think it's really a cool thing. Like, however you feel about the music or not, like I just something like this can happen.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
Is so, I think it's so important.
Yeah, it's like you can be taken out of like the shadows. It's like I was always in the shadows, like in my in a bedroom, locked somewhere with my grandmama's modesty shawl that she put on a skirt, pinned in my head with some bobby pins.
Right. Doing like that's nice. If I cut it this way.
Yeah,
right.
And then when I came home, snatching it out my head.
No, we had to do this. And I think whenever I saw something that looked like, oh, that looks a little free over there, I was definitely like peer over the fence. Like, okay, I see you. Yeah. I don't know what that's about, but I like it. But I can't go over there yet.
No.
And I think like then coming to New York and like encountering, because there was also this period where they weren't letting I knew like, okay, that y'all gay, there's some the gays are up here, but they're still playing certain stereotypes or certain, I don't know, there weren't fully fleshed out people, but there were people doing things that I was like, like they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I kind of, that always drew me in. Like I said this I think last week or week before last, I'm always looking for the others. Oh yeah, I said it last week. I was talking to B Long. I'm always, if I see someone who is an other and they're doing it well, I think I'm like, what are they doing? How do they do that? And that's been my link to you without even having met you until I've been aware of you for years because I was like, he's one of them. That's my people, but I don't know how to do that. And look he does it. He does that.
Oh goodness. It's what's so funny is it's like I knew when I got here to the city, I was like, okay, I wasn't the best like technical dancer. I knew that. Like a guy who was like, oh, okay, I'm not from ABT or Alvin Ailey or and I was like, but I'm gonna have to cut my own. I'm gonna have to cut my own way. Yeah. That's the one thing I knew. I was like, I'm gonna have to find my own way. And so from my first Broadway show, which was Saturday Night Fever.
Right. So it's like, and you have to dance.
Well, I was talking to friends of mine from Fever because I still have amazing besties from Fever. Such a fantastic experience. But I was saying that I remember the notice for that show was the audition notice was dancing a must, singing a plus. Wow. And I was like,
I've been like, oh, I got this.
I was always like, I'm a great like I dance well enough, but I was like, if I can get past the dancing, you know, and I get to sing, it'll be cool.
I got you. Right.
I was like, dancing a must. And I was like, oh, I don't know that. But so I got an audition in New York. I was living in Chicago at the time doing Ragtime. And my agent at the time said, oh, come to we need you to come back to New York for this audition. I was like, they looking for one black person? You want me to fly? You want me to pay money and fly? They looking for one black man? One black dancer in New York?
Right.
No.
And you want me? I'm
not
busy.
doing it. I didn't come in. But a friend of mine it was on the Cats tour.
Okay.
Andre, they're having an open call for Saturday Night Fever in Chicago. I'm driving into Chicago. Can I stay with you? Do you want to go with me to the audition? And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. So I went in Chicago and I got the job in Chicago.
Wow.
And that's how and I'm going to really say, like, the universe, I'm like, whenever I doubt, the universe is always looking out for me. God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, is always looking out for me, whether I pay attention or not. So my job lately has been to pay the fuck attention.
Just pay attention.
Pay attention, bitch. Pay attention.
The work is there. The foundation of the work is there. You know, it's just pay attention.
Notice it, bitch. Notice it.
Well, because then you can end up in like these really like wonderful situations. Like, you did Rock of Ages for 6 years. The producers for 6 years as well.
I did.
The producers was first, right? Yeah.
I started off on the second national tour of producers, and then I went to the first national tour of producers, and then I went to the Broadway show. So I did it for about probably all told 2 years, but in all 3 different productions.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I can't even fathom a year. You know. Lunch was difficult today. But so, like, what does it take to do? I mean, Rock of Ages was from start to finish. That was
Rock of Ages. I did from the beginning of the Broadway run till the end of the Broadway run. Yeah.
How?
I mean, first in the beginning, it was really. Like it was really all creativity and all like finding stuff because they had done it off Broadway and I wasn't in the off Broadway show.
Okay.
So it was like the character that I ended up playing in the Broadway show, off Broadway's name was Paul. But when we started rehearsals, I was like, I don't know, he feels more black to me than Paul. And they were like, well, what do you want to call him? I was like, well, my cousin's name is Lakinya Jakeith or Kwan, so one of those. And
can we just pick one of those?
So the next day they were like, so from now on, the character of Paul Gill will be named Jakeith Gill. So my cousin Jakeith is thrilled.
Oh my God. I love that. I never knew that. That's amazing.
So, over time, like I just ended up, like I was really, really good friends with my stage managers. I became an honorary stage manager, to tell the truth. And I would be by them and like I would like call cues with them before I went on stage. It's like stupid. They were so sweet to me. They would just like let me like amuse myself and do shit like that. And
bring the house to half.
Yeah, you know, or I would do the calls before I can say this now because the show is closed. But they would let me do the calls. You know, half hour, everybody. It's half hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
But there was a day, because you know me well, John Andrew, you know me well. I can talk. I start talking, and I can't shut the fuck up.
I love it.
So I was telling stories. I was telling, stories about my mama, telling stories about. So I'm in there telling stories, and they're setting me up. I didn't notice they were setting up a phone, and I'm in like full street clothes. I should have sent you this video because I have it.
Oh my God.
They said, oh, Andre, could you do the call? I was like, oh yeah. Okay, it's Places. It was Places. This was in years. This was in well
so
into year
half
5.
an hour. Half an hour has come and gone. Half an hour was now 29 minutes ago.
After I was coming on, I probably called some of the calls. I haven't noticed that it's places. And they're like, I was like, places, but I still called places.
Wow.
And then gave a full speech about how it was like, and then tell everybody what you're wearing. I'm wearing a turtleneck and some jeans in this place.
That is
Did you make it?
I made it. I put my pizza hat on and I ran the fuck out there and made it to, but that's what you can do because by year 5.5,
right?
What, it's
but in your blood at that point.
It's in your blood at that point. But even in ragtime, like I did that in Chicago for almost a year, 9 months, 10 months. From almost the beginning, the Black people, we were on CPM. We were on CPM even then, because we would be downstairs talking, oh yeah, da 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 da, and you could hear, Andrew Keenan Bolger up in 1902.
And you're like, well, goddamn.
I was like, okay, and I was like, we got time. And all of a sudden, you'd hear da 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 dee da da, and there were no Negroes. Run!
And they're literally
Lawrence Griffith Joyner, like barely make, and everything was back time. Like,
wow.
It's LaShawn's Hinton Battle.
Oh, that's a fun group.
That is too much.
Oh my God. Well, that we kind of wanted to know about that too. Like when things kind of go wrong. Because we were talking yesterday, we have these elaborate show meetings where we're like trying to do deep dives and come up with questions. And we were like, what would happen to me in like the 4th of 6 years? It would be some random Tuesday. I would be on stage. And then all of a sudden my mind would be like, I should switch to soy milk. We did this whole thing to go to almond milk, but I don't like the taste of soy. But they say it's better for you. I don't know. But then I don't know. Am I being crazy? And then all of a sudden I realize, oh, I'm on stage. But I don't know where I would be.
But also things happen in previews, because I was in the preview audience of Xanadu when poor Miss Kenita Miller span on stage, and that hammer flew out of her hand and hit that woman in the audience. You all coming out, we doing something. Spin around, and this hammer flew and hit this woman, and poor Kenita Miller just in the slow motion going.
Oh. That show. It is like the jewel box of a show for me. It was so
Xanadu.
I mean, Xanadu is one of those experiences that is like you could never replace. It's so many amazing. I mean, Mary Testa, Jackie Hoffman.
Yeah.
I got to work with Whoopi, and I mean, it just was like so. I mean, Carrie Butler. I mean, Cheyenne. Everybody. Kenita.
It was a wonderful cast. I saw it like 95 times. I was in love with that show.
It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And Chris Ashley was so wonderful directing, and Dan Connectus, the choreographer, is so cool. But there were so many, I mean, by the time we opened, there were already I think 3 major breakages. During tech rehearsal, we had crash pads because we were skating and people went flying. But our original, because Cheyenne replaced our original.
I forgot about that.
James Carpinello, who lives in LA, but I've done somehow 3 Broadway shows with him. He was the lead in Saturday Night Fever. He started off in Xanadu as the lead, and then he did Rock of Ages as the rocker Stacey Jacks. But he was the best skater of all of us. He was like a hockey player, so he was really great at skating. But I can't even remember exactly.
Was skating a part of the audition even?
Yes. Yeah, we had to put on skates for the. Luckily I had gone skating at the Roxy right before that audition.
Oh, remember that? Oh, I used to love that. In that, it was no bigger than my living room. But there'd be 90 people going in a little tiny skirt. People in outfits. Some bitch always skating backwards. Oh, I loved it.
But James. They were like, go. It was like right before the end of rehearsal. We were a week before we opened.
Yeah.
They were like, we're gonna go put on your skates. They did. I don't know. There was something with the floor, but go put on your skates and skate around for a minute so you can get used to it. Blah blah blah. James came up. We all came up. We were skating around. James fell, and I remember his eyes got really big, and he said, "Oh my God, I think I broke my ankle. I think I broke my leg." I laughed. I thought he was kidding. I thought he was like, I was like. Because he was the best skater to me. I was like, you've been so great. I was like, he was like, no, I think I did. And the stage manager went over to touch his leg, and he let out a scream like I have never heard come from anybody.
Oh my God.
They called 911, an ambulance came, took him out, and he was just like, I just moved my family here.
My God.
And then they turned to and then everybody's huddling. It's like, this is like an hour. It's like 90 minutes before or 2 hours before the show.
Jesus.
That night. And they go, and I remember like they were huddle. Can you do this? Looking at me. I was like, what?
Like,
can you do this? No. I was like, okay. And I remember the Chris Ashley was like, Andre, don't worry. You can hold the book if you need to hold the script, and then ego takes over. I was like,
I need to hold no damn script.
Book. I'm not gonna hold the script. I'm gonna hold the book. So I was 90 minutes of rehearsal. I never had rehearsed before. It was insane. I will say Carrie Butler is a dream, because when I tell you, and I use bitch in the most reverent,
endearing, right?
Yeah, this bitch. There was a song I can't remember. I think it's called, but I remember the tagline was, "It's a lie, it's a lie," and there was a lyric, and I would say, I see you in a dream. You turn and say, I can't remember but I would have to look at her and go, I see a tear in your eye. And I couldn't remember it. I was going up. And I remember, and she could see it in my face that I couldn't remember the lyric. And when I tell you, Carrie Butler looked at me and she could see me, and she went, and dropped a tear. And I went, I see a tear in your eye. We got off, and I was like, you cried on Cuban? She just goes, I could see that you were going up, and I wanted to help. And I was like, oh, well, what can I do for Andre? And so I was like, oh, it's a tear in your eye. And she dropped a tear. She was so generous. And so kind. I have never. I was stunned.
How long did you end up playing the part for? I remember when this happening.
Yes, me and the Curtis Holbrook, who's the other. We switched on and off for until Cheyenne could get ready for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Wow.
Whenever it was, 2 weeks. Yeah, and then Cheyenne was a dream.
And he wore the hell out of them little tiny shorts.
Come on now. Now, when they say that there's certain people, they have there's that something about them. And people have been talking about Cheyenne, because I didn't know Cheyenne. I'd never met Cheyenne. And people were talking about it. They were like, ooh, the child, fine. Where'd you see them thighs? And
then you saw them thighs.
When I walked in, and he was having a skating lesson, and I don't know if there was a light on, but it looked like there was a light on stage.
Wow.
Following behind him, like them Jesus paintings when you have to have that circle. Right. Oh, okay. Oh,
there's something about him.
It's like that. And then he sang like he did. I was like, bitch. Oh, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So you had mentioned Miss Whoopi Goldberg, and I know Mr. James Jackson had a. Well, we're not really going to ask you about Whoopi because we know you can't talk about the people you work with, and like you got stories. We know you got stories. I know you got stories, but you can't talk about the shows.
But Whoopi she's the mentor in my head. I have never met her. I actually don't know if I could because I would implode. But she is the mentor in my head.
She will love that.
What? So we wanted to know, like,
did you have something to say about Whoopi that you can say?
The only thing I can say about the thing I can say about Whoopi is that she's one of also the most generous people that I've ever met, and she came into the show, and Mary Testa was away doing her solo show, and so it's just like when you're in, like, it's like I had no idea. I was one of the understudies for Mary Testa, okay, and
which is brilliant.
It's so fun,
and they said, "Oh, Andre Whoopi's coming into the show, and you're going to open the show in Mary Testa's role because Jackie was out. Jackie was away having, I think, sinus surgery or something, and Whoopi's coming in to do Jackie's leave. So you're going to open the show with Whoopi." And it was like,
excuse me, right?
She had already come to see Mary in the show, and I do remember the first time I met her backstage. She looked because. I mean, you can't miss her in an audience. It was the Helen Hayes.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Whoopi Goldberg's here tonight, skating around. And then she was sitting in the green room and, trying to walk back and trying to like, be like, it's so I meet people like you all the time. I meet Oscar winners every day.
Right.
And she just looked at me and she goes, you. I was like, she goes, I saw you see me.
I love that. I saw you see me. That's too good.
Like, I did.
I did. That was me.
That's me. Yeah, but it was great because we learned the show basically because I had an understudy rehearsal, but I'd never gone on, and she was learning the show and she was doing The View during the day, coming straight from The View to rehearsals.
Wow.
And I was just like, oh, great. So I couldn't be nervous because it was just like, oh, we're getting to do this together.
Right.
So let's do this together. Great. So it helped me not be nervous.
Are there any, like, so, we all have, I think, these mentors in our histories. Are there any like words of advice that you still hold on to from a mentor, or?
Oh, I mean, there are things that people
something that's like stuck with you.
Years. Yes, one of my favorite things is actually she was the brothel owner in Rock of Ages, Michelle Mays, but I get all pent up about this audition and that audition and oh gosh and do I know it and would somebody read this with me? Hey, can you read this with me? And I don't know if I'm right for it. I don't know if I'm going to get it. And I was doing that one day backstage, that whole act, that old gag. And she just looked at me, Andre, and she goes, Andre? I said, yeah. She goes, have you done your work? I said, yeah. She goes, so you know it? Yeah. She goes, okay. So, and I'm going to tell you this. If that is your part, there is nothing you can do wrong. And if that's not your part, there's nothing you can do right.
Yeah.
So just do it. Do your work and let it go.
Yeah.
And
why is that so hard?
It is, and that has served me more.
Yeah.
Because it is. I always know if I have gone into somewhere and I'm okay, because I come out and I go. I come out and I'm like, oh, that was great, and I rip the pages. Yeah, I throw them in the garbage can and I leave. And I was like, there's nothing more I could do.
Put it away.
Put it away. And if there's something I feel I could have done better, it sticks with me.
Mm.
Even if I do, because I've had things that I didn't get, but I came out and I went, oh yeah, they weren't looking for me.
Yeah,
Right.
That was all I could do.
Right.
I mean, that was it.
Yeah.
Oh, they weren't looking for me.
And that little thing that still creeps up occasionally. You know, you still have to
Yeah.
remind yourself of all of these
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And there's little nuggets that it'd be so nice if we could just exist that way, but you're going to forget along the way.
Yeah.
You know, I love it. And it seems like there are some like traits of successful people because Sekon was on the show, Sekon Sembla.
Oh.
And she said she has a whole thing about being the best juicy mango that she can be. And she's like, sometimes they're looking for a lime. I can't be a lime. I'm a juicy mango. You know, I love it.
I love that.
So, you needed a lime today.
Yeah.
I am a mango, you know.
It's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. It was really difficult early on when I was trying to be whatever I thought you wanted me to be.
Right? How do you like, so we talk about this a lot, just even like personally, JM and I, when does that it doesn't go away, but when did you learn to navigate that better? Because it does, when these things do seem very like, oh girl in my 20s. And then it's like, oh girl in my 30s. And then I'm like, well, damn it, I'm not moving the number. But like, there comes a time when you learn to navigate that a little bit better.
Yeah.
What did that take?
Well, I think it took me taking a second and going, okay, what has actually come to me? It has come to me when I was me.
Yeah.
When I was free. That's when, I mean, my audition for Rock of Ages was, I remember they sent us Here I Go Again.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They sent us to learn. And you know, I grew up in the church. I was like, this Dolly Parton song. Why am I doing that Dolly Parton? I was thought, here I come again.
Yeah, like that.
I was like, I'm not learning that. I mean, I was doing another show at the time.
Yeah.
In Syracuse. So I wasn't thinking about, all I was thinking about was like, okay, what can I do? Because I'm driving 8 hours or whatever for this audition. So what can I do? I was like, okay, I can't learn that song right now because I'm blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this song. And I sang some song that Henry Krieger wrote for a show I did called Average Mega Simple Superstar. And I remember, and they were like, can you come back and dance? And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay. And I went back to dance. Wasn't nary a black face in that. I was like, oh, they're not looking for me. I was like, oh, they're not looking for me today. And it was like Mr. Cellophane. And like, I was like, they're not looking for me. They're not looking. So I was just like, and I remember, right, they called the groups out. They were like, Andre Ward, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And I came out, I stood there and I was like, there's a little bit of pepper in the salt today. 6, 7, 8. Let's go. And I think because I was just free, and it was that way. Whenever I'm free and I'm not trying to be, and it was that way for the producers as well. Like they asked for a joke. They used to, you go in there, you would have to tell a joke, and I didn't have a joke. But my friend Richie had gotten me this black Barbie doll one New Year's, but this black Barbie doll, she worked at McDonald's. I couldn't believe that's why he got it for me, because he knew that I would be gagged. And
did she have a little like uniform?
She had a little uniform. She had a little. It was supposed to be her sister next to her in the box, and so I for a year I did this whole monologue about Black Barbie Kelly, and so I went in, and Susan Stroman was like, "So okay, I did the audition," and she goes, "Andre, so what so do you have a joke for us? And I was like, no, I don't have a joke.
I got a little story.
But what I do have is an observation. And I went into this whole, I don't know if you've been to Toys R Us lately and you've seen a Barbie. Her name is Kelly. Now Kelly is Black and Kelly works at McDonald's. White Barbie Kelly is a nurse. White Barbie Kelly is a model and has a Malibu beach house.
Right.
Black Barbie Kelly works for $4.95 an hour with her sister daughter next to her in the box.
Of course you got it.
And then you get the job.
But it's when you know what? That's what it is. When I'm unafraid.
Yeah.
When I'm unafraid to risk, it doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter if the job is mine or not. That's the thing.
What matters is that you were yourself.
Y'all better get me out here talking. That's the thing. It
No,
doesn't matter.
It's important.
Yeah.
Risk to be seen. I mean, we're coming back to Lil Nas. You got to risk to be seen.
Yeah.
If I risk to be seen, which is what you guys did so amazingly in Strange Loop, to risk
Then you're
to be
seen.
And it doesn't matter if you are celebrated, denigrated because you've been seen authentically. There's so many times where I wasn't, where I was playing some part, playing some role and celebrated, but because I didn't feel like myself, I didn't feel like I was being truthful, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
So if I'm really true, then it doesn't really matter how people feel about it.
I need to write that on the back of my hand. It doesn't matter.
So, well, if you haven't noticed, we're in our 5 questions.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, we've been in our 5 questions.
Oh, we're deep in it.
We deep in it. We're at like number 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so glad. See, because then I didn't get all nervous. See,
Right.
I didn't try to like.
But see, wouldn't it be nerve-wracking if we were like number 1?
Yes, my Felicia Rashad answer, because only Felicia Rashad can be Felicia Rashad. But I try sometimes.
Right. See, we got you as you. We got Andre. Jam, would you like to ask question number 4?
Well, no, because I think I want to ask question number 5.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, you do.
I will say James had the majority of the good questions today. Like I came, like I said, I don't know what I want to ask him. Oh.
We were doing
I
a
wanted to
lot.
just tell stories. I don't know what I want to ask him. I wanted to tell stories about things going on. I want to tell stories about dancing with people. Oh my God. Oh, Andre, I love your stories, but we can't tell a lot of them on this show.
So I will ask the number 4 question then.
Okay.
So it's such a basic question, but I'm always curious about this with people. What is
basic bitch? So
me too. I'm just like really.
Really am. I really
It's
am.
just like it's a simple French vanilla coffee with 2 sugars. I'm so basic.
I was just at Pinkberry, and they were like, "What do you want?" I was like, "The coconut milk, vanilla." They were like, "What toppings?" I was like, "I don't know, some caramel." And he looked at me. I was like, "I'm just a basic bitch. I'm just a basic bitch.
Right.
It's okay."
Right. People have these elaborate things, and I'm like, no. I'm just over here eating jelly beans right now.
I'm all good.
Is there a skill or a hobby that nobody knows you have?
Oh.
Because it's not like
skill.
What would you do if you weren't a performer? But is there just like some skill that you really slay and nobody knows?
Well, I mean, I have. First of all, I'm a low key, like sci-fi fantasy.
Oh,
if you're in another dimension, if
really?
you got some powers, I am in it. I have
like sci-fi movies, books, all of it.
Books. There's a book series called the Tarot Sequence, and it's a queer because I was like, I was reading all these, like self-empowerment, improve, and I was like, if I read one more thing that tells me to, how to best be me, You know, I was like, I just want to read some, and I was like, oh, I can read for fun.
Right.
And I was like, what do I want to do? What do I want to read? What do I want to read? I was like, I like gay, I like sci-fi, I was like, oh my God, gay fantasy. So I just looked up queer fantasy. And I found this great series called The Tarot Sequence with it. You know, the main character is this like crown prince, magic wizard, and he has another that's in love with him, and he has a companion. So they're almost in this like polyamorous sort of. It was my everything. You know, my everything.
Yeah.
My friends are always like, Andre, if anybody knew how much you love queer sci-fi,
that's interesting.
I love it. I love. I've always loved it. You know.
Were you a comic book fan? Were you ever like in the comic book world?
I wasn't in the comic book world, but if any like show came on, like I was that little boy that was playing Bewitched, you know, in my backyard.
Obviously.
I did that, and I also I didn't play house growing up. I played New York City High Rise.
I played You'll Be My Doorman.
I played you.
I started a club. I started a club in my neighborhood, and I made all the little boys pay dues. I had one of my dad's old briefcases, and I had sheets, and I was like, "So you pay me 5 cents every Thursday." I was making like $6 a month. I was killing it.
Come on, hustler! Come on, hustler! Man.
I love
it. I played New York City High Rise. Well, dream big, Roxy. Dream big.
Well, again, I can sing most television theme songs from the like 60s, 70s, and 80s because I just loved it, you know. But I used to also sing the Dynasty theme, but I didn't. It didn't have words, so I just sang all their names. You know, John Forsythe, Linda Evans, John James, Emma Kathleen Ballard, Diane Carroll, Coleman, that's Stephen.
Oh my God! Oh, I love that. What was your favorite nighttime soap?
My favorite nighttime, so it's a toss-up. Dynasty was really I used to talk with my teachers. I can't remember if Dynasty came on Thursday. I used to talk with my teachers.
Dynasty was
the next day.
Was it there? Because Knots Landing was Thursday, I think.
Was Thursday, so maybe Dynasty was Friday. It was
Falcon Crest in Dallas. Dallas and
Falcon Crest.
Falcon Crest was my show.
Angela Channing.
Come on.
Emma, that poor special child. I loved her so much, Emma.
Yes. I've rewatched the pilot episode. I probably watch it once a year.
A Falcon Crest?
A Falcon Crest, because in the pilot, that's Angela Channing's brother is still alive, and that's Emma's father. And Emma is in the stables making out with the farm boy, and they accidentally kill the father. And that's how the show opened. As Susan Sullivan is moving to wherever it was, and her and Chase Giaberti. Yes.
We're the same people.
And when they killed Maggie, remember I never forget.
You're still mad about it.
I'm still mad. I was so mad. I remember I cried myself to sleep, and I was well into high school. But she was in the swimming pool out back behind the mansion, and her wedding ring got caught.
The ring got caught. Yes. Oh my God!
The wedding ring got caught, and the bitch drowned.
Yeah.
I said
that was
y'all just killed Maggie.
And that was the beginning, like the opening of the season. Oh my God. Trauma.
I loved that show. Yeah. Falcon Crest Dynasty. Of course, I watched Dallas. And Falcon Crest Dynasty, Dallas. I watched them all. I watched Paper Dolls. I watched Flamingo Road. I watched them.
Al
Morgan says that your Dynasty is an audition song, if I've ever heard it.
It really is. You could do that. You could do a whole cabaret show of just TV theme songs. You don't even have to tell a story. Just sing the theme song and then just be like, and then bow and leave.
That was a game in college. It was like Stump Andre on TV show theme songs, and people would, try to stump me on a TV because it was like, because I knew shit like Gidget.
Oh, Lord.
If you're in doubt about angels being real.
Wow. Wow.
That is amazing. That's amazing.
That's some good knowledge right there. I love that. But wait, what was your dream big question, Jan?
Oh, dream big, Roxy. Dream big.
Yes.
Dream big. This was my big, after the whole show meeting, this was my big question for you. You ready?
Okay.
All right. You end up with $500 million.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What does that look like?
I just stood out tall.
How do you spend it? What do you do?
God. Oh, gee.
500 million is a lot.
500 million is a lot. I know I get a lift.
We've been using this word a lot, but is this after taxes?
James Jackson, stay in your lane.
That's important. That's like when they do that My Lottery Dream House on HGTV, and they're like, "I won $1 million," so it's really 250,000.
You really won 200, right? So we're gonna say that this is the celebrated after taxes. You still win 500 million.
$500 million. Wow, dream big. Oh gosh, dream big. Oh my goodness.
What do you do? Who do you help? What do you buy?
Well, I mean, I would, of course, like my whole family, I would just be like, okay, what retire you? Like, here are your homes, here are your houses. Be retired.
Yeah,
be retired. Be retired. My mama just texted me about how she can't sleep because she needs a new recliner. I said, I was like, how you doing? I can't sleep. I need a new recliner. It's tough. It's hot.
That's my father. My father has one that stands him up.
Oh,
it lays all the way flat down.
Don't tell my mama that.
And stands him up. He has one upstairs and one in the garage. So he can sit with the garage door open and just watch the neighbors go by and be like, look at it. I'm like, what do you need two for? So we get the recliner.
Get the recliner. I feel like really what I would, after I've retired, my family is, what I would want to do is, oh my God, I just said it. I would want to have a production company and make queer fantasy series.
Yeah.
Because that's what I want to see.
Right.
And I've still yet to really see it. Like,
you make the thing you want to see.
Yeah, this book that I just read, I was like, that's what I want to see, that series.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because
I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, because I mean, my big dream, I've always said, me and Nathan Lee Graham gonna be fighting over it.
Is it a perfume line?
No, because it's like I said I want to be like I want to be a gay Marvel supervillain. Or it's some sort of gay queer villain. I want to be a villain.
I just want the cape. Good or bad, I just want the cape.
That's what I want. I want to be in a sci-fi superhero. And I want to be the villain.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah.
I love that. Andre Ward, those are our 5 questions. See, that was easy.
See, y'all are good. Y'all are amazing because you don't make it feel like
you just
I'm answering like questions. Yeah, I feel like I'm just having a conversation with girlfriends.
Oh, I want to ask a quick 6th question because I posted something today about, I was like, I didn't know people loved ranch dressing that much, and it took off. Like people have feelings.
People have feelings.
Have all kinds of feelings about this like ranch,
and it's like there's no middle ground.
No middle ground.
There's no middle ground with ranch?
No, I was like, is it a white thing or a black thing? And I was like, maybe it's a white thing. And then Jermaine Miles is like, no, I love me some ranch dressing. So I'm like, okay.
But you don't like ranch?
I'm neither here nor there for it. I was just like,
interesting.
It was just like, I literally saw 3 commercials back to back about ranch dressing on my TV. What about a ranch dressing seasoning? Then like some ranch dressing itself. And then this insurance commercial. And she's like, and a side of ranch. And I'm like, What? Do people really love ranch dressing that much?
They do.
Yeah, if I'm getting a chicken finger, I mean, if it's not honey mustard, it's ranch.
I like shit to dip shit in.
Yeah, just like or a barbecue wing. If it's not blue cheese, it's ranch. You know,
well,
I like a ranch.
And Morgan likes a ranch. I'm just whelmed by ranch, I think.
I love not overwhelmed, not underwhelmed.
Just whelmed.
I'm just whelmed. I'm just all right. That's the pillow this week. That's the pillow. Vinny Mussolino with the pillow. I'm just whelmed by ranch.
I'm whelmed by ranch, I think.
So now, what we do next, we play a game. It's called the Quick Five.
Quick five, quick five, quick five, quick five.
Also for season 2. For season 2, it's possible all of these segments will have very high and very out of tune riffing intros.
Quick five.
Yet pre-recorded, but very high and very off-key.
Not pre-recorded, out of tune and high.
Is there any other way?
All above.
So in the Quick Five, there's no wrong answer. Okay. We just like the first thing that comes to your mind.
Already nervous, already fitting out.
This always makes people nervous, more so than the actual questions.
I need my fan. Got my fan.
do you want to start, Jam?
I will start. Okay. Andre Ward, it's time for the Quick Five. Toni Collette returns to Broadway in what musical?
Oh, Chicago.
Oh, that's a good one. As
Roxy, because Rob Marshall said that her audition for that show was amazing for the movie.
Really?
It was Harvey Weinstein that that said that wanted Renee Zellweger, who was wonderful.
Yeah,
I would give anything to see Toni Collette.
I would too.
Do that. It would just be like amazing.
Oh my god. That would be. I love her.
I love her. I loved her in The Wild Party. I loved her in The Wild Party. Her and Eartha.
Yeah. Audra McDonald dream role that you would like to see her in.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. Oh God. Audra McDonald dream role. I mean, I wanted back in the day. I wanted to see her do Eliza Doolittle.
Yeah. That is.
I was like, wouldn't she be just a beautiful Eliza Doolittle?
Wouldn't it be lovely?
Yeah.
That really would be just absolutely lovely.
Absolutely lovely. Andre Ward, Quick Five, question number 3. Mandy Patinkin, yes, no, or maybe?
Oh, maybe.
I love, but like very firm in it too. Like, maybe. Like, didn't have to think about it. Just no, this one's very important. Okay, your cell phone goes off during a Patti LuPone performance. Where do you hide?
Hide your kids, hide your wife. It's like just like under the seat, like under somewhere where she cannot see me ever. Yeah, ever.
Mm-hmm. You hear that, Patty?
Patty.
Wait, I can't be that. I can't let that be the way I meet her.
No, ma'am. I had to get the pillow first to soften the blow.
Yes, I'd have to have that in the theater with me. No, Patty.
But that's why I stand by what I said. I said what I said. Patti LuPone is somewhere right now fighting somebody.
I mean,
right now.
There was that video of her they had during like what's that show? I always call it Wagon Wheel, but it's not that. It's called War Paint.
Yeah.
But I do want a show called Wagon Wheel with Patti LuPone and Christine Ebersole like out on the ranch, just singing like Hidden Valley, just in perfect thirds. Oh Jesus!
I was like that Western show, that was about like like
Wagon Wheel.
They're like, it's about makeup. I was like, oh yeah, it's called War Paint. That's right.
War Paint.
But they were like, what are you gonna do? What would you do if if the president came, the last president came to see the show?
Oh, right. Yes.
She was like, I wouldn't do it.
Wouldn't do it for the motherfucker.
Yes. I'm not performing for that motherfucker. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I
howled.
Just feed myself. I howled.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got
so now
in my apartment today. Ooh,
see?
Lord.
Now, question 5 in the quick 5 jam. This is a big one because question 5 is a game within a game.
Within a game.
Oh,
yeah,
like
oh god, right?
It's like Christopher Nolan.
It's a game within a game within a game, Andre.
Yeah. Oh goodness.
The game within a game within a game inside of the quick 5 is called Pick a Pair of Patties.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Your patties for reference are, go ahead.
Patti LuPone, Patti LaBelle, and Patti Murin.
Well, I know Patti Murin.
Oh, hey, this is going to be great.
She was in Xanadu.
This is going to be a great one. So, Andre Ward, you need to do a bank robbery. And you need to pick a heavy and a getaway driver. Pick your pair of patties. Patti LuPone, Patti LaBelle, or Patti Murin. You're
so heavy
and your getaway
is going to be like, give me your money, and then who's driving the getaway car?
Oh, Patti LuPone is my heavy, and Patti Murin's going to drive that car. I know she can. We can do it together.
We can do it.
Okay. We think the same.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I will say Patti LuPone is the popular heavy. She really is.
I just think people. Here's the thing. People I think are. I was naturally scared of her. You know, she wouldn't remember this, but we did a pilot together years and years and years ago, and she was so nice.
That's what I've heard.
I've heard she's just very nice, and like that stuff is what we've put on her. But here's the thing:
could not have been sweeter.
Now you say that you know.
Says Patti Murin.
Patti Murin is a thief. Now here's why. Here's why. During rehearsals we'll explain this. During rehearsals for A Strange Loop, in the rehearsal room, on one of our days off, they did a reading of something that Patti Murin was in. When we came back to rehearsal that following day, certain items were misplaced.
Yeah, sit down.
So our running gag that we have held onto is that Patti Murin is a thief. But since you know her personally, here's the thing. Now, there have been...
I think she would love that. She would probably love that.
A few people, Joe Iconis was one. He chose Patti Murin as the heavy.
Ooh.
Because she's so unsuspecting.
Yes, that's true.
Like, she's going to just walk in very politely and just like...
Oh, that's true, with that angel face.
Right? And be like, yes, hello. I would like all of your money.
I'm going to kill you.
The teller's like, I'm sorry, what'd you say? I would like all of your money, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I think like there's something that like it. Does she have that in her?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know.
You are the first and only person, to not choose Patti LaBelle as the getaway driver.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. People will.
If there was like a glass break moment, I would get that.
I think people want to be
Patti LaBelle doing Gypsy. Everything's coming up frozen for me and for you.
But Patti in her prime,
yes,
she would have laid it out.
Yeah,
she would have laid it out. That is our quick 5.
That's our quick 5.
I know. I'm sorry. I made it a CP5. I'm sorry.
No, it was fantastic.
It was lovely.
It was really delicious. Andre Ward, this is where we can find you on the interwebs. The Andre Ward at the Instagram.
Yes.
Andre Ward at Instagram. Because if you try to look up Andre Ward on social media, you're going to get a boxer and a trombonist and all kinds of other people.
And I was like, is Andre Ward boxing on the side?
Yeah.
It says here he's in the ring, like throwing punches. And I was like,
won 3 gold medals at the Olympics.
Right. I was like, this
wait,
this
can I
seems
tell
very
you?
out of place.
Our viewers are like coming with the corrections. Like, no, someone else didn't want Patti LaBelle. Was it B.D. Wong? It might have been B.D. Wong. He was like, I don't want Patti LaBelle driving that car.
I think you're correct. I do believe you're correct.
And someone said she had a heavy driving foot.
Patti LaBelle has a heavy foot.
Heavy foot. Drive fast. Driving fast and singing loud.
Well, speaking of singing, we are about to watch a clip of you doing just that.
Ow.
No, I saw this today and I was like, oh my God, this is the one. I want to see this. Yeah. I want to know all about this. It's a song called Over the Rainbow. What was this from?
This was from an ill-fated musical version of The Fisher King that my friends are working on. And not the Fisher. Was it the Fisher King? It might have been. It was either the Fisher King or something else. I'm not thinking of it right. But but yeah, they were working on it. They wanted to. There was this character. I think it was the Michael Jeter character in the.
Oh yeah. Yes. Because I was like, why do I remember this like monologue in the? Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm in love with it. I'm in love with it.
It's a cool,
where was this?
This was in Las Vegas, actually, where I'm from. My friend, the composer, lives in Las Vegas, and they were doing this showcase for writers. And so I flew out to see my family, and then also ended up being able to do this for him. And then one of my other besties wrote the lyrics, so it was really cool.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Yeah,
I mean, I kind of
Whitehorse and Michael Brennan. Yeah,
I kind of want to ask you other questions about like living and growing up in Las Vegas, because it seems like it's like kind of a fabulous place to grow up in. But
it's okay. It's 24 hours. That was the thing that really I did. I mean, I could leave my house, and when I was in high school, I would tell my grandfather, I got to be friends with the captain of the football team, and that was the only time I could ever be out late, because my grandfather thought that he was gonna, help me really be a man,
right?
Because he was in the reserves. He's like, oh, is that Paul? He's in the service. Yeah, Daddy.
So you couldn't be doing wrong.
So I would literally call him at 2 a.m, being out, and say, hey, I'm with Paul. We're here at his house. We go watch a movie, and we out drinking. I'm gonna watch a movie, so I'll probably be home around 5. He said, oh, you and literally he sleep. Just, oh, you with Paul from the Paul? He's in the service. Yeah, Daddy. Paul. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'll see you when I see you. Didn't matter because Paul was the captain of the football team, really popular.
Paul could do no wrong.
Man, to do no wrong. Like if I was with Paul, I could do whatever I wanted. If I was with one of my theater friends, be home by midnight.
Oh,
or no, you ain't going.
Thanks, Paul. Thank you. You ever see Paul? You ever seen Paul since?
I haven't seen Paul since. I've seen his sister Mary and I were actually in the same grade. Paul was a couple of years older than me, but we were all in show choir together. But his sister Mary comes to visit a lot. Mary Caruso. I went to Catholic school, and they were a family of 10 kids. So Paul was in Harmony Express. Was our show choir.
We were the Illusions. White tuxedo pants, blue sweatshirts with a cummerbund.
Nice.
Why we love a cummerbund? We love a bow. We had different colored vests, bow ties, and the cummerbund and the sparkly cummerbund.
Come on.
Oh my God.
We wrote a theme. They wrote a theme song. I think Mary actually wrote those words. We are the Harmony Express, dancing and singing our best. We celebrate the show for you. We hope that you enjoy it too. Check it out. Dance break.
It's such a rite of passage. It really is.
We thought we would do it, and I think I choreographed the dance break. It was like girls like sliding up and down the boys' bodies in high school. What you doing?
Fighting over 4 bars of a solo. I knew it when I was in front.
Totally. All Sheilas. All Sheilas.
A whole bunch of Sheila. And that was just the tenor section.
That was just the tenor section. Oh my
Wait,
God.
let's watch this song because I'm in love with this song.
Just talk.
All
see,
right.
I can just talk to y'all family. See?
I love it. I love it. This is Over the Rainbow, everybody.
All right.
Hello. Well, one night I'm at Don't Tell Mama singing, "Funny, I'm a woman with children," and I thought to myself, what does this all really mean? I mean, all of my friends were dead, you know, the AIDS. Some boys did act up in their Timberland boots. Some boys did memorials in Armani suits. Some boys stayed home watching TV in bed. I went out dancing in Nancy Reagan red. I figured if Ronnie couldn't say the word, I'd say it for him. Over the rainbow, somewhere, where did they all go? I bet it's fun there together, but I'm here. Now it's all forgotten and there's a new beat. The nightclubs are throbbing with animal heat, but I'm just no good at the beaches and the bars. Men look at me like I've landed from Mars. Over the rainbow, somewhere, there is a real show. Wish we could be there together, but I'm here. I kind of sound like a veteran, don't I? I bet my old man would be proud if he knew I'd gone to war. But did he ever help me out? Ain't that what your dad is for? My dad had one talent, passing out in front of the TV. Don't need fathers anyway. Hell, you don't need mothers when you have so many brothers. I had so many brothers. Now they are over the rainbow, somewhere. Here's what I don't know. Here's what is not fair. Not being together. 'Cause I'm here.
All right, modulation.
Come on. Giving me a full story. I am in love with that. That's how you get here. Because you start out there, but you bring them into here.
Yeah, come on, diminuendo.
Diminuendo. That's my cousin, Dominio. He in the window. That was lovely. That was very lovely.
Oh, it's so good. Andre, you're so flippin' talented and you're lovely.
This has been an absolute pleasure. And I just I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
I know this is really, y'all do make it feel like I'm just talking to my friends. Thank you so much. I mean, y'all are my friends.
Well, we are friends. You know? Like, I'm just very glad this could happen because I have been a large fan of yours for a very long time, and you have been a friend in my head. So I'm glad that.
So now we're friends. Now we're friends.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I thank you very much.
So
Thank
now we
you.
go into a thing called One Wish, but we have to spontaneously come up with a theme song together. Prepare yourself, however you need to, spiritually, emotionally, physically, and I'll count us in, and
we try. Yes,
we'll
The goal-
spontaneously come up with a theme
he
song.
wants us to in sync one day.
Just come up with a theme song.
Perfect 3-part harmony to
Have a
one
theme
wish,
song.
to a theme song for One Wish.
Yeah.
And if the heavens have it,
Okay.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen today.
now I would like you to know I believe this is episode 14 or 15. It has not happened yet.
It's
But
today.
but
It's
but
today.
maybe it could be today.
Okay.
But
All right.
here we go. Are you going to
5,
count us in?
Yes. And a 5, 6, 7, 8. One wish. Well, what I will say is that the commitment is there. And I
You
appreciate
better have notes. You better have notes.
El Morgan has notes about how was that
Yes.
diner food fight on the first episode
I
of
did not
first
see that
season.
coming. I was like,
Oh,
y'all throwing food?
I was very worried when we got the script because my hair.
I'm not. This
I
is
was
not
like-
wrapped up.
I was like, I don't. And so we started, and Janet was like, so, but you get to run. You're gonna get to run out. Then they're gonna pull you up out, and then you get to say, I'm fucking out of here. And I was like, fan-fucking-tastic.
Y'all figure it out.
I was only there for the beginning, and they did that fight twice. They did that twice. So, and they texted me pictures of themselves just covered in ketchup and mustard. And
No,
I was
ma'am.
like,
No.
I mean, the thing about Pose, I will say that has been things like it's like about being in the flow again. Like I
Right.
did, like before Pose, I did Murphy Brown, and that was supposed to be one episode.
And then you just kept popping up.
And then it became 10 out of the 13 episodes. And it was just like, and I will say this, Katie Finneran and Matt Wall are responsible. Katie Finneran pulled me aside and she goes, hey, they need you here. They need you.
Oh.
She goes, act like they need you because they do.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, thank you. She goes, yeah.
Yeah, I
hope you don't
said it.
mind me saying. She goes, I hope you don't mind I said that. I said, no, I don't, and I'm forever gonna. And I told her that. I just saw her on the train not too long ago, and I said, I will forever give you credit, and I will forever tell people that you're the reason why I came out of my shell, because I'm actually a very shy and nervous person. And for Pose, it was supposed to be one episode, and that was it.
Oh wow.
And
And
I
here we
remember-
are.
And Billy walked in. I had worked with Billy in a show in Atlanta a couple of years before, and Cameron knew Billy from before, and he walked in, and he looked. He goes, "So you've hired my friend without my knowledge."
That's a good Billy also.
So, and then like Ryan Murphy happened to be directing that episode.
Mm.
It was the Candy's death episode.
Okay.
And he came, like we did our first rehearsal. He came over and he just went, he goes, huh? He goes, oh, I like that. He goes, you don't see this represented very often. For older Black queer men.
Yeah.
Usually you just get the one.
You get the one.
And that's it. And he said, oh, you don't usually see this represented. And we
Right.
just went, no, not really. And he goes, yeah, I like this. And that's all he said. He walked back to the camera. We did the scene. And then the next thing you know, we were coming back.
I love that.
Amazing.
And it's like, oh wow, just show up.
Just
Yeah.
Show up.
do the work.
Yeah.
Show up.
They need you here. Act like they need you here.
Act
That
like
was-
they need you here.
Katie Finneran, I could not thank
Also-
her more for that.
That bitch walked away with a Tony for 15 minutes of stage time in Promises, Promises.
Well, okay. Oh, I wonder would she care? I don't care. Look at me. She's gonna be like, see, I can't tell him nothing. But because she was guest starring on Murphy Brown,
Right.
and I had been doing that thing that I do with people with that I'm like I like, and I think because I had seen her as Brooke when she won her first Tony in Noises Off,
Right.
she was everything in that play. I
yeah.
could not. I
Yeah.
gagged, fully gagged. So I just was like the whole week. I was like, ooh, what do I do? It's Katie Finneran. Oh God. Oh. And finally, I was like looking at like doing the I Spy.
Right.
I finally went over to her and I was like, hi, I'm Andre. I hope you don't mind if I just say that I really enjoy your work, and I saw you in Noises Off, and I just thought you were brilliant, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I know some people don't like that. And I hope she doesn't kill me for this. I don't think she will. She goes, first of all, anybody that tells you that they don't want you to hear, that they don't want to hear how good they are is a fucking liar.
I love her. I love her already. I love her.
And we were fast friends for that week.
Oh, I love
after
that.
And she was so kind, because you don't have to be that way. You
I
don't
know.
have to come and pull some actor aside and say something so kind and generous. I've really been very lucky to work with really kind and really generous people that that are really comfortable with themselves. So
Mhm.
they want to pull you up, because if you're shining, they shine too.
Right.
They're already shining. Ty
Right.
Daly was that way. Candice Bergen was that way. Faith Ford just all made me feel so Grant. They all were so wonderful and kind.
I love that.
It's like I've been very lucky to work with really wonderfully kind Nick Dodani, he's going to be in Dear Evan Hansen. So kind. People were really generous and not like, oh, this is my funny line, I got to have this fun. Like, I'm funny. I know I'm funny.
I'm good. Yeah.
And there's your funny line. Great. Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Everybody, if we all rise, we all rise.
Yeah. We're in a section called One Wish.
I told you I talk. I see. I'm sorry.
No, but it's good.
Look,
I love it. I
we
love
just have
it.
to have you on for another show where I don't really ask you any questions, and I let James figure out all of the questions to ask you, and then I just come in with one at the end.
But
can
you
just
kill it.
talk.
But you kill it. Everybody loves a button.
So, James, do you want to set up three wishes for?
You mean one? Oh, that's right. So we do one wish. I forgot we have to get the rationale. So we do one wish because genies give you 3 wishes, and I don't like genies. So my rationale, my wish this week is so we're moving. We signed the lease. We brought some chairs over today, and we were like, oh, so this is what it'll be like to sit in here. Get a new space. Like, if something's not right, or there's something just like, is that a dead bird in the wall? I'll explain. But if something's just a little off, just get you a new space. So I'm so looking forward to just this new space and what this can be. And it's just going to be good. And we have a month and a half to slowly move down the street.
Nice. Oh, come on.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I said the other day, I was like, someone was like, was it Jason today was like, well, when do you have to move? And I was like, July 15th or something, we have to be gone by. I was like, so today I brought this pen over And maybe tomorrow I'll bring the cap. Oh, get you a new space if you need.
Nice. I love that.
That's my wish for the people. What about you, Jam?
I just love. I mean, I'm gonna act like they need you. Act like they need you there. I love that, and I kind of also needed to hear that today. I mean, I think it's for me. It's this idea of staying in your joy and staying in the things that you need to be healthy. What is this one fly on my microphone all the time? Hold on. Stay in the things that
same way they got Mike Pence. Watch out.
Mm-hmm. But stay in your joy and don't don't let people steal your joy or bargain your joy.
Ooh. Don't bargain. Do not bargain
your joy.
God, y'all are good.
Yes. Oh,
that's good. That's really good.
Today, good show meeting.
Oh wow,
a good show meeting.
That's beautiful.
Do you have one wish for the people, Andre?
Oh, yeah. We've been locked down so long, and the thing that I really wish for people is amazing reconnection. Amazing reconnection. Reconnect this week.
Nice. Like this past week or two.
Get out in the sun, hug people.
Yeah.
Look in their eyes. Mm-hmm. And really reconnect and have a sit on the grass and have a conversation.
Right.
Hugs feel nice.
Yeah. We saw each last week, Jam and I, for the first time in a year.
Oh, yeah.
And we knew we're going to see each other, and like did walk and took the train, and then we get to this thing, and we were like, it dawned on both of us like 2 blocks away that like, oh shit, I see this motherfucker every day on the damn screen, but I haven't seen him. I'm a first hug his neck, but then I want to wring his neck, but. And we hugged and just boo-hoo cried.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it just you have to do that. Just save space to do that. Yeah. I think that's wonderful. And I'm gonna hug you the next time I see you.
Please. And I won't be scared.
Right?
Vinny Missalina says Christina's gonna be spitting out pillows today.
Well, because we have the pillow quotes are coming. The season 2 is gonna have some merch. Come on.
Season 2 gonna have some merch.
Mugs. Get me a bandana.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Ooh, come on. Yes.
Do we want to talk about next week's episode, Jam?
Well, yes, we do. Why don't you do the drum roll, please?
The drum roll, because our drum roll is it's a bowl of jelly beans that I swirl my finger in.
And next week's guest is. We don't know yet because
it's up.
And so
but it's on pause, but we have a very special guest on hold. It's on hold. And she's supposed to be getting back to us this evening. So we'll hear.
Not all that. Not a full jelly bean drum roll.
The jelly bean drum roll came back.
No, Michael unfortunately had some he has some family stuff that he has to go and deal with. So he can't be with us next week, but I think we're going to try and like open the season with him next season, or maybe do something with him over the summer or something like that.
We will still be here next week, and we may have a very special guest.
Yes.
And then so I know, like, I've been watching a lot of that Mayor of Winningham show. It's Mayor of Easttown, but I've been calling it Mayor of Winningham.
I was like,
I know I love shows like that. That are 6 or 7 episodes. They wrap it up, and I don't have to pay attention anymore. But always when there's 2 episodes left, they let you know. So there's 2 episodes left.
There are 2 episodes
in our
left
season.
So
I know. So there's like season 1 is almost over, y'all.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Right?
Oh.
This little thing.
You guys are really special. You guys are really, and not in like a, short bus sort of way. You guys are really like,
Thank you.
I mean, quite honestly, I feel as a person, I was very I was nervous running around.
Everyone,
I put like 4 or 5 different shirts on. I would put my house dress on, took it off. I was like, no, this blue is better. I was very nervous. And you made me immediately comfortable. You guys are so easy breezy together, and you're so fucking funny.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're so wonderful. It's beautiful.
This has been a big pleasure and an honor.
Yes, and once again, Andre Ward. You can find Andre at the Andre Ward on the Instagram. Follow him; he's delightful. I know you have projects that you can't even talk about. You're going to be on a big one coming up for the Netflix, and you're on Pose, and and you're doing all of the things, and I love you. I adore you. You're one of my favorite people, and
one of mine.
I mean, literally, it would be so delicious to just like the stories of some of the dancers you've worked with, and there's the one who like jumped on stage, but we can't talk about that. We can't talk about that.
That's season 2.
It's like some of my favorite. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this has been 5 Questions with James and Jam. You can find us at 5QJ and J, hashtag 5QJ and J. I keep saying I'm going to update this thing and I never do. Or you can go to our website, 5QJandJ.com.
Yay!
But Andre Ward, you're
amazing. Y'all are amazing.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Hang out after this
I'm
for a
fan.
second. Thank you.
All right, so hang out. We're gonna end the broadcast.
A proper goodbye.
And we'll do a proper goodbye. Anybody in the audience, do you have any last words that you want to say to Mr. Andre? Tell him how pretty he is. Thank you. I love me some guava jam. That's right.
Oh.
She's in Jamaica, y'all. It's hot there right now.
I bet it is.
It's hot right now. Vinny Mussolino is just giving you applause because you deserve applause.
Thank you.
And I'm so sad Christine Shep-Strong was not with us today because, like, her pillows need to be celebrated.
She will. Oh, Lord, Patty, I'm sorry, girl.
Patty's going to fight you.
Go throw me out of my own house.
All right, so goodbye, everyone, and tune in for Mystery Guest next week.
Mystery Guest next week.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.